Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Welcome to the series on Courageous Leadership. My name is Mandy Holloway. I'm co-founder of Courageous Leaders. Welcome back to my loyal audience. We're into episode 7, but also if some of you are new, welcome. Great to have you on board. You'll know, as I just said, we're into episode 7. Today is all about a step-by-step formula to coach for improved performance. If at times it feels like I'm going fast, it is, because we've got a lot to get through today. If I can put it in perspective for you, when I deliver a workshop on coaching, it takes a whole day. So I'm going to give you a lot of content to enable you to go away and actually put it into practice and practice the skills. So please, I invite you to ask questions, share insights so that you can enhance your learning. So I'll give you skills. I'll very much talk about the how you can go and actually put this into practice. But if you need to clarify, don't hesitate to come and connect with me in some way on social media, and I'll give you more insights a little later about how you can do that. What I'd like to do is put this in context for you. When we're looking at coaching, for those of you that have joined me in episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll know that I've talked about the importance of the leverage cycle. That as a business owner, an entrepreneur, somebody who's created a niche, you have to move beyond the doing in order to truly grow your business and create the exponential possibilities for your business. So we talked in episode 2 about the importance of you delegating. So you have to stop doing, you have to delegate. We talked about the tightrope. You then have to make sure, which we looked at in episode 5, is that you need to support your people to perform at their best, making them feel significant, making them feel like you really care. Then what you'll remember is we looked at the importance in our last episode about giving them feedback. And in most organisations, we're very poor at doing that. And we talked a lot about why and what holds us back and what are some of the barriers and our fear around giving feedback to people. The last element, which is what we're going to have a look at today, is we're going to coach for improved performance. But you'll remember, because I said it to you last time in the last episode, was that you cannot coach somebody who doesn't want to be coached, who hasn't accepted the feedback and accepted that they have a development gap. And that's really, really important that you're really clear on that you cannot coach somebody who doesn't want to be coached. And in my experience, too many managers and leaders combine these conversations with the intent to fix somebody, and then get really irritated when it doesn't work and say, I knew it was a waste of time. It's not a waste of time, it's just that maybe you're not doing it in the most effective way. So really encourage you, if you didn't watch the episode on feedback, really important to go and have a look at it. If not, at the very least, go to the experts page and download some of the checklists that I informed you about around feedback, because it's going to be really important that each of these conversations, these 3 conversations, are the foundation for coaching. If you're not doing those, don't bother about even trying to do that, because it's not going to work. So that's a really important context for us to have. And I know in my experience of working with many managers and leaders, that in itself rattles their cage. They go, wow, I didn't know that I couldn't coach somebody who didn't want to be coached. I thought I could just pull them in and fix them and tell them what they had to do to get better. And I say, yeah, that doesn't work, right? So Today is very much, and if it doesn't rattle your cage, I reckon that you've closed off, because what we're going to be looking at today, I know even for myself, it still rattles my cage at times, because I would much rather have a little magic wand and just go, poof, let's fix them. Let me make them little mini me's, because then it'll be really good and it'll all work really well and easily. That's not what coaching is about. So today is very much about rattling your cage, your beliefs, what you've grown up believing about coaching. So really, really encourage you to be curious as you listen and watch this episode. What I'd like to get us to think about is that coaching, and a definition for coaching. And this comes from a chap by the name of Tony Grant, who works at Sydney University. He's a senior lecturer, I think. And sorry, Tony, if you're more... He's an academic and is responsible for educating people about coaching at Sydney University. His definition for coaching is that it is a collaborative, systematic process in which the coach facilitates the enhancement of performance, learning, and personal growth. Now, as I've experienced through working with numerous people, as well as being an executive coach, really trying to come to grips with what is coaching? How do you define it really clearly? Following on from how Tony Grant has defined it, one of the things that I believe in and I put into our program is that we consider that coaching is all about asking questions to further develop the other person's understanding of their situation. We're developing the other person's understanding of their situation, not mine, theirs, and how they want to make a difference or a change. Coaching helps the other person to see their issue differently, and therefore to see opportunities they hadn't seen before about how they can handle, resolve, or change things. That's a very, very different way of looking at coaching. And what you're going to see is how I talk about it is the word I like to use is that it's about facilitating their thinking. I'm going to put this up because we're going to keep anchoring back to that, because it's a very different way of looking at coaching. It's about facilitating the thinking of the other person. And two little phrases that I'm going to keep pulling us back to is this is about bringing out instead of putting in. So for many of us, we've thought about coaching as putting knowledge in, putting skills in, fixing the other person. That's not what coaching is about. Coaching is about bringing out, helping people to make connections. I remember watching a little video when I was on a plane the one day, and it started talking about how the brain works. And it really got me thinking about this concept, is that when you do the thinking, the neural connections are made in your brain. So a person comes in and you think that you're coaching them by telling them what to do, telling them how to go and fix it. The neural connections are made in your brain, not theirs. You've done the thinking. So you know what's going to happen? The next time a similar situation arises, guess what's happening? They're coming back to you because they didn't make the connections, and they look at the situation, they go, I don't know how to do this. I haven't done this before. Yeah, they have, because you've told them how to do it, but they don't remember. And that thinking never happened for them. So if you find people come to your door seeking out solutions, it's not them that's the problem, it's you, because you are encouraging problem-oriented people, because it's really easy to walk into someone's office and go, oh, I don't really know how to do this. Oh, just go and do it. I'll just go off like a little robot. I'll do it. I'll come back again and you can tell me again later that I've got to do this again. So if we want solution-oriented people who find the solutions themselves, we need to invest the time and the energy as the leader to facilitate their thinking, to actually bring out. So they find the solution, so the next time they're faced with a similar situation, guess what? They won't need you. That means that you're coaching for performance. So sometimes it's really important to get clear on what coaching isn't. So when you're defining something, so coaching is not about you giving somebody a solution. Coaching is not about you sharing your stories and experiences. Well, I remember when this happened to me. Remember when we talked about listening with the intent to understand? We said you got to stop running your own home movies. When you're coaching, it's even more relevant. Your home movies are not important. Your experiences are not important. Use your experience to ask powerful questions to facilitate their thinking. That's how you use your experience. It's not about evaluating and judging the solution that they come up with. As I said, it's not about fixing somebody. It's about empowering them to think differently about the situation they've got themselves into, so they can, in a very empowered and engaged way, decide how they want to move forward. I think some of my greatest learnings about coaching have been when I coached little kids in under 11s to play field hockey or turf hockey. Because kids are just so honest and so real and so blunt. And you very quickly learn, even though you would think that if I'm coaching kids in skills as well as their attitude on the field, I would be able to do a bit of telling. No. Wrong. You have to still facilitate their thinking around how they're going to use the skills, where they're going to use them, why they're important. There's a whole lot of stuff, and which is what we're going to have a look at in this episode, to actually create the engagement for people to want to be coached. So even in hockey, they have to receive.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.